Live from South Jersey's WMGM-TV, this is NBC 40 News. Your news now.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Lisa Johnson. Erica Washington is off tonight. Atlantic City is responding to help in the massive search for survivors and debris from the crash of an EgyptAir jetliner, a crash that has left families in 2 countries, including families right here in New Jersey, mourning. Atlantic City sent one of their Coast Guard helicopters to assist in the search and rescue process off the coast of New England. The search has been called off for tonight, but will resume again in the morning. More than 200 people are feared dead. So far, we know at least 3 of the passengers were from New Jersey, but no names are being officially released until all the families are notified. Meanwhile, authorities are investigating the possibility terrorists may be responsible. The Boeing company says the plane was a 767-300 with a service record of more than 31,000 flight hours. Jim Hanchett is live with the very latest from Quonset, Rhode Island.
It seems almost impossible to believe that someone is still alive out in the Atlantic, clinging to a life raft. But the Coast Guard isn't ready to give up hope just yet. A Navy recovery ship heads toward Nantucket tonight to help in a search that has so far primarily turned up only debris.
We found portions of seats, we found clothing, we have found some paperwork including passports.
All day the Coast Guard searches for survivors. No one found. No indication yet what caused the plane to drop from the sky without a distress call, falling 20,000 feet in a matter of seconds. This was the plane seen at JFK Airport just last year. More than half the passengers on board today, Americans, 54 from the western U.S., planning to cruise the Nile River. Families of the victims gather in New York and in Cairo, where the passenger list is posted. EgyptAir is owned by an embattled government. President Clinton, though, says it is too early to blame terrorists.
We don't know. We have no evidence of that at this time, and I think it's better if people draw no conclusions until we know something.
The investigation could well be headquartered at this Rhode Island military base. The wreckage will likely be brought here, the plane slowly reconstructed. And a temporary morgue may be set up here as well. Some of the families of the victims, in fact, tonight are flying to Rhode Island to be here to identify the bodies when they're recovered. That's the story from Quonset Point, Rhode Island. I'm Jim Hanchett. Back to you.
All right, thanks, Jim, for that report. Meanwhile, police are investigating whether last night's fire at the Ocean City Aquarium was a mischief night prank. The aquarium went up in flames last night, killing many of the sharks, snakes, alligators, and other creatures inside. Investigators returned to the scene today, trying to determine what caused this horrific fire. NBC 40's Kyle Schmoyer reports.
This was the scene last night as firefighters tried to battle the blaze at the Ocean City Aquarium. And this is what's left today of the famous local tourist spot. Investigators say the fire started in the back of the building, and residents recalled the initial explosion.
Flames and everything was shooting through the garage door. You know, windows were popping and cracking. A neighbor in the back was shooting water just to keep the flames down.
Smoke everywhere. The roof, it's caving in. Everything. It's sad. They didn't even have a chance.
Or maybe they did have a chance. With the charred remains inside this building, the owner couldn't imagine that any of his animals would be safe. But with the light of the new day, survivors emerged from this destruction. The owner carried many animals to safety this morning, including a snake and an alligator.
I'm surprised and I'm ecstatic because we've got about half of them that have survived, over half of them in the reptile section. So we have a very good turnout, and now we just need to make sure that they stay healthy.
Right now, all the rescued reptiles are being taken to the owner's house, while investigators continue to comb through the rubble. And firefighters still don't know the cause of the fire.
The samples take a couple. They have to go to the state police laboratory. You know that there won't be results out of that for a couple weeks. Initial indications like the fire appears to be suspicious.
And because yesterday was mischief night, the case has been handed over to the Ocean City Police.
There has been nobody taken into custody at this particular time, and we are in the process of interviewing individuals, witnesses. Once again, it's standard procedure to do that.
But for the owner, the answers can come soon enough. In Ocean City, Kyle Schmoyer, NBC 40 News.
And if you would like to help the owners, you can call 398-2255. An Egg Harbor Township teenager is still in critical condition. His best friend's viewing scheduled for tomorrow. This after a 36-year-old township man struck the boys while driving home last night. Police say the driver who fled the scene had been drinking. The boys were riding their bikes here on Bargainstown Road between Zion and Leaf Street. 15-year-old Brian Keller, a sophomore at Pineland Regional High School, was pronounced dead at the scene. 16-year-old Donald Ford is at Cooper Medical Center with head and brain injuries. Their parents say Keller had just gotten a brand new bike and wanted to go for a ride. Police say minutes later, Gregory Castellane hit the boys and fled. His wife drove him back to the scene where Castellane was charged with driving under the influence, leaving the scene of a fatal crash and other crimes. Castellane was released on a summons, awaiting trial. Well, tonight is Halloween, and by now all the candy has probably been sorted and trick-or-treaters have been put to bed. So, besides stocking up on candy, why do we celebrate this Night of Spirits? NBC 40 News found out. Halloween has only been in America since the 1840s, but it originated in Ireland almost 15 centuries ago.
The Celts believed that there were spirits in the air at all times. But unfortunately, there were evil spirits as well, which they were afraid would possess them. So in order to kind of ward off this spirit possession, which they believed the spirits would do in order to get into the afterlife, they would dress up as the evil spirits.
The Celtics chose October 31st because that's when they began winter, in effect a new year. What better time to ward off evil spirits? Then the church got involved.
They said if you're going to believe in saints, you might as well believe in hallowed saints. So on Hallowed Eve, or Halloween, as we now know it, they tried to encourage people to believe in at least hallowed saints rather than the older, what they considered to be pagan saints.
So where did trick-or-treating come from? Well, the treats were originally gathered to appease the spirits.
They would go souling, it was called, souling, in which the villagers would go through the town and beg for kind of soul food or soul treats, really.
The tricks were all part of controlling the spirits. People felt if they could trick the spirit before the spirit tricked them, they would be safe.
It really is a principle of trying to get control over what you were afraid of. So it was to trick the spirits.
And highlights of some of South Jersey's tricks or treats are just ahead. Well, also still ahead, a terrorist threat may have been the foresight to today's deadly plane crash. That story and more. Stay with us.
Mayor John Saccinelli is putting people first by bringing responsive government back to Hamilton Township. John Saccinelli is listening to us. He's improving our public safety by adding police officers, expanding our community policing, and protecting our volunteer fire and ambulance squads by properly funding them, all with no tax increase. John Saccinelli has proven that we can better our community's public safety, recreation, and quality of life while exercising fiscal responsibility. Let's continue putting people first by re-electing John Saccinelli to Hamilton Township Committee.
No matter what's on your horizon, now there's Horizon Blue Cross Blue Shield of New Jersey.
A thrill-seeking VVTi V6 engine, crisp precision handling, the luxurious newly styled ES300. Think of it as your own personal amusement park. For unbeatable entertainment value, see your New Jersey, Delaware, and Pennsylvania area Lexus dealer.
In Atlantic County, Sheriff Jim McGettigan has taken crime for a ride. So far, over 1,200 wanted fugitives have been arrested. Over 1,000 deadbeat parents were brought back into the family courts, and from them, over $1 million will be collected and paid back to their needy dependent children.
You too can take crime for a ride. This November 2nd, vote for me, Jim McGettigan, to continue to be your sheriff.
An unconfirmed warning that a bomb would soon be used on a flight departing from Los Angeles or Kennedy airports is now resurfacing. That story tops tonight's Newsline. A spokesman for the Islamic Center in Los Angeles expressed concern today that the FBI may have failed to notify them of a potential security problem, possibly involving the Islamic community. They were referring to an FAA alert about a month ago that a bomb would go off on a flight departing from LA or JFK airports. The FAA says that warning was investigated and lacked credibility. It was a bad day for Boeing 767s. Just after an EgyptAir flight crashed off the coast of Nantucket, a second Boeing 767 was forced to make an emergency landing. Delta Flight 141 took off from Brussels bound for New York. The flight lasted just 13 minutes. An engine failed and the plane was forced to turn back. The plane landed safely and no one was injured. And President Clinton is bound for Europe tonight, where he will try to jumpstart the Middle East peace process. When he arrives, Clinton will become the very first sitting president to visit Norway. Clinton will first meet separately with Israeli and Palestinian leaders. Then they will all come together. Their meetings come a week before the scheduled start of what's called the final status talks, aimed at reaching a permanent peace deal. And that's tonight's Newsline. Mother Nature's trick sure turned out to be a nice treat for South Jersey, but the unseasonable weather is headed out. Dan Skalski has our forecast up next. Plus, look at this fairy tale coming to life in Linwood. Stick around for that Cinderella story.
I'm Dick Squires. When Joe Silopini first became a freeholder, he expressed strong concerns about the special needs students here in Atlantic County. Now, after years of hard work, the students are finally getting their school.
I'm freeholder Joe Silopini. This is where the dream becomes reality. Very soon, special needs students will have the school they need and deserve. I'm asking for your vote on November 2nd so I can continue to meet the needs of every citizen of Atlantic County. Please vote Joe Silopini, freeholder.
Lilliston Chrysler Plymouth Dodge Jeep, one of the largest truck dealers in South Jersey. Featuring the Dodge Durango and the Jeep Grand Cherokee 4x4s. Large inventory of Dodge Ram pickup trucks, quad cabs, and diesels, as well as the Dodge Caravan and the Plymouth Voyager. Hundreds of trucks, and more trucks. Lilliston Chrysler Plymouth Dodge Jeep, your truck center for South Jersey. Located on Route 47 in Millville.
We helped bring the convention center and tunnel project here.
And that's meant jobs.
We voted to preserve 1 million acres of open space.
And brought home record amounts of state aid for our schools.
We voted for HMO reform.
Because your health comes before insurance company profits.
We did all of this and still cut taxes.
Including New Jersey Saver. $1 billion in property tax relief over the next 5 years.
I am Assemblyman Ken Lefevre.
And I'm Assemblyman Frank Blue.
We'd appreciate your vote on November 2nd.
I didn't know Davis could move like that. I told him to think of himself as something powerful and agile. Wonder what he was thinking.
Buy now and choose 0.9% APR or $1,000 cash allowance.
Steve Johnson. He grew up in Atlantic County. He's raising his family here. Johnson runs his own small business, makes tough decisions, meets a payroll.
I'm Steve Johnson. I know you want county government which doesn't spend too much or tax you out of house and home. As your freeholder, I'll join Dennis Levinson and Joe Silopina to cut spending, cut our debt, and keep our county taxes as low as possible.
November 2nd, Johnson, Atlantic County freeholder.
Time for weather with Dan Skalski, and Mother Nature certainly delivered us with a treat this Halloween. Feels like more like mid-June than late October.
It really does. This is one of the nicest Halloweens, especially in recent history. Gorgeous day outside today, and it made for a great night tonight for trick-or-treaters. Let's take a look outside in Linwood. Now there's scary residents here on Poplar Avenue. You sure this isn't Transylvania? Oh, I know, that was a bad joke. You know, I went out earlier tonight with my little brother, took him trick-or-treating. It was gorgeous. I had a great time. I hope you did as well. Whatever you did, I hope you enjoyed it this Halloween, and maybe you're still enjoying it, because it's a beautiful night out there. We head out to Millville tonight. Usually pretty chilly for this time of night, but actually that's not the case. 63 degrees our current temperature. Humidity's up there, but nice, light, warm, southwesterly breeze at 5 miles an hour, and the barometer's holding steady. Look at these highs today, folks. 69 degrees at the marina, 75 on the airport. This is for the last day of October. Well above the normals for this time of year. 63, the overnight low actually came just after midnight this morning, and we started off at a very chilly 46 out of Pomona. Now it's 65 degrees currently at the marina, 63 at the Cape May County Airport. Dover chiming in at 61. Our state capital, 64 degrees. Set the satellite map in motion. A weak cold front's going to approach right there. You see some clouds ahead of that. Really brush through our region and bring us some light cloud cover tonight. We don't really need to worry about that. Another clear day today. Some morning sun tomorrow before more clouds build in ahead of this low pressure system that's going to start to make its way up the northeast coast, and that's where our next rainmaker is. As a matter of fact, we looked to our radar map, and there you see this disturbance here, this band of showers throughout Mississippi and Arkansas, all associated with an upward level low pressure system that's bringing a lot of heavy precipitation. It's going to move this way right up the coast along the Gulf of Mexico. There's a high pressure system that will keep us dry for tomorrow, but then gets squeezed out. There it is. It's just going to get bumped off by tomorrow. Rain sweeps up. It's like a football play. You go here, this comes up here, and then the cold front moves through. So we're going to see a lot of changes in this upcoming week, and I'll show you that in our 5-day. Now, out on the waters for tomorrow, not so bad. Variable winds 5 to 10. They'll start north and shift to the southwest by the overnight hour, by night hours, and seas 3 to 4 in the ocean, only about 2 feet on the bay, and sunrise bright and early tomorrow at 6:25 a.m. The forecast for the remainder of what is October, at least for the next half hour, and the beginning of November. Just a few clouds out there in the overnight hours, light winds, 58 along the coast, 52 back on the mainland. Tomorrow, yeah, the clouds begin to roll in. Some people actually enjoying the day off. Tomorrow, a holy day for some, but if you have to go back to school or work, not missing a whole lot. South winds 5 to 10 miles an hour. 65 at the shore. We'll enjoy one more warm day, right about just below 70 degrees further inland. Tomorrow night, just cloudy. Blanket of clouds, 60 degrees at the shore, 54 along the mainland, and you see our 5-day. This is what I'm talking about. Rain comes in by Tuesday afternoon, and then Tuesday night we should see a high of about 60 degrees, and then the front moves through Tuesday night. Look at that. Partly cloudy skies for Wednesday, with a high of only 51 degrees. We're going to stay in the low 50s, clear and cool throughout the end of the week. 53 on Thursday, 59 on Friday, and as you see, it's still Halloween, and in the spirit, I'm just a big kid. But can I say, I brought treats for my colleagues.
Very nice.
And Lou, little milk duds. There you go, guys.
For those of us who didn't get to go out trick-or-treating with our little brothers.
Right.
Is this your brother's candy?
No, it's not. No, it's really not. If I could, I would give, some to the viewers
Of
at
course.
home.
Well, thanks for the treat.
There, you're welcome.
And now Lou Holder joins us. And do you have any tricks in sports?
Well, I'll tell you that it was scary down at the vet. It was scary down at the vet. The Eagles played one half of football. I have details coming up next in sports.
Hi, I'm Tom Foley. The race for county executive is getting pretty interesting, isn't it? I promised I'd run a clean campaign.
I know Tom Foley a long time. Tom's had a wonderful public service career.
My campaign is about real issues.
He's going to make a great county executive.
No one's done more for us in Washington than Senator Lautenberg. I'm grateful for his support. And now I ask for your support Tuesday for the entire Column A team. Let's shake things up.
People say location is everything. And even though we're conveniently located just seconds off exit 10 of the Garden State Parkway, well, we say it isn't true. The best place to get any vehicle is where you pay the least.
At the Kindle Auto Plaza, we guarantee to beat any lowest advertised price in New Jersey. Cars, trucks, sport utilities, minivans, all at the lowest prices. Huge reductions on all pre-owned cars and trucks. All roads lead to Kindle Auto Plaza, Cape May Courthouse.
Where we guarantee you'll get the lowest price here first.
Atlantic County can do better. Milt Burkus and John Pyatt will bring their innovative new ideas to the State Assembly in Trenton. Innovative ideas like Health First, putting patients' rights ahead of HMO greed.
I've lived in Atlantic County over 40 years. My father was a policeman in Atlantic City, and over that time I've seen a lot of changes.
I want to help the seniors because I am one of them. I want to help the veterans because I am one of them.
I'm John Pyatt.
And I'm Milt Burkus.
Elect us to the State Assembly.
On Tuesday, November 2nd.
Ford Taurus.
with $2,000 cash back plus low 0.9 financing. Engineered for serious performance. Now get Taurus with $2,000 cash back plus 0.9 financing. Built like a suit of armor with the highest safety rating on the planet. The government's 5 stars. $2,000 cash back plus low 0.9 financing gives you over $4,700 in total savings. Visit your Quality Plus Ford dealer today.
Levinson has raised county taxes by $30 million, and a state audit shows Levinson wasted millions on patronage jobs and ran up a $90 million debt. He spent $22 million in casino property taxes and raised your taxes anyway. Now new casino money is coming. Don't let him waste it again. Teresa Kelly and Tom Getsky will use that money to cut taxes 10%. Kelly and Getsky for Freeholder, the taxpayer's choice.
Well, as Halloween comes to an end and the cooler temperatures return, you might start thinking about the holidays. The Salvation Army is, and they need your help. If you would like to apply for Christmas assistance, go to the Atlantic City headquarters at 22 Texas Avenue. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday are for Atlantic City, Ventnor, Margate, and Brigantine residents. Friday, Pleasantville, Absecon, and Egg Harbor Township residents. That's when they can apply. And now Lou Holder joins us with sports.
You know, Lisa, speaking of Halloween, it's quite ironic that the Eagles wait to Halloween to throw in a second-half performance that could be described in just one word: frightful. Oh. Frightful. Well, if you happen to hear some choking over the next few days, it's probably some Eagles fans still finding it hard to digest the loss that the Eagles pulled out of the jaws of victory. Up 14 points at the break, the Eagles self-destructed in the second half and lost a heartbreak break. Now what happened after the break is still a mystery, but all I know is that what was labeled good turned bad, then ugly after the intermission. First, Norm Johnson gets a field goal block. That denies the Birds 3 points. Then, with the Eagles pinned in their own end, Deuce Staley gives up the rock. That would lead to a frame, and folks, I think it's finally time for Donovan McNabb at quarterback. Doug Peterson gets his feeble pass blocked. Michael Strahan intercepts and goes 44 yards for the score. 23-17 is your final. Eagles drop to 2-6 in a game that they should have won. Week number 8 saw the last unbeaten team in the league suffer their first loss, while an expansion team gets its first dramatic win of the season. Lou's lap around the NFL starts now. First stop, the NFC East leading Washington Redskins. The Skins up celebrating. The Skins spanked the Bears 48-22. They are now 5-2. Cowboys traveling to the Colts, and it was Indy who gave Dallas a ride. Peyton Manning 312 yards and 2 TDs. This one to his favorite target, Marvin Harrison. Edgerrin James 113 yards on the ground. 34-24 your final. Indianapolis improves to 5-2. Dallas drops to 5-2. Buffalo 3 better than Baltimore, and the Dirty Birds get their first home win of the season versus Carolina. The unbeaten Rams, but it was this missed field goal by Jeff Wilkins. Becky. And in what should have been the Super Bowl last year, Minnesota gets 144 yards receiving by Chris Carter and a late field goal by Gary Anderson to beat Denver 23-20. Jacksonville goes to 6-1 with a win over Cincy, and in the late game, Detroit up 20-3 on Tampa Bay late in the fourth quarter. Moving over to golf, Tiger Woods wins another golf tournament. The legend grows, winning the PGA Championship by 4 strokes today, his 7th win of the season. And Lisa, the 23-year-old, is now the first PGA Tour winner to have over $5 million in earnings.
Good for
$5
him.
million.
He deserves it.
And he's 23 years old.
He deserves it.
Got some loot, y'all. He's got some loot.
Thanks a lot, Lou. Well, don't go anywhere because there are still many stories still ahead. Dan's wake-up call, a Cinderella story. Plus, it was a doggone good Halloween for some local canines.
Andy Chavez. He's a retired state police lieutenant and is now director of Atlantic County's Police In-Service Academy.
I'm Andy Chavez. I'll put my experience to work for our kids. I'll help make our schools safer by promoting gun safety. I'll help our local police enforce our gun-free school zone law. And I'll go into our schools to teach our kids that violence never solves any problem.
November 2nd, Chavez, Atlantic County Sheriff.
I've read the headlines, heard the stories, and seen the results of poor Democratic leadership.
Teresa Thomas, candidate for Hamilton Township Committee.
With wild spending, bad business decisions, and political paybacks, I believe Hamilton Township deserves better.
For Hamilton Township's future, vote Teresa Thomas, Republican for Hamilton Township Committee. Capable, dependable, knowledgeable.
We need to do the right thing the first time, every time.
What's better than 2 great new chicken sandwiches at McDonald's? How about 2 new chicken sandwiches for the special price of just $1.29 each? Starting Monday, get the new Chicken McGrill sandwich or crispy chicken sandwich for just $1.29 each. Tender, juicy, tasty, served on a bakery-style roll. Hot, fresh, just for you. Quite possibly the best chicken sandwiches you'll ever have.
Assemblyman Jack Gibson and Nick Aselta. They put your health before insurance company profits. That's why they voted to reform HMOs. Because of Gibson and Aselta, HMOs must now disclose all treatment options, regardless of cost. And HMOs must pay for emergency service. Best of all, Gibson and Aselta made sure medical decisions belong to you and your doctor, not the HMOs. Assemblyman Jack Gibson and Nick Aselta. They're on your side.
Tonight's sports is being brought to you by the Kerbeck Organization in Atlantic City and Pleasantville. Come see the Kerbeck difference.
And now Dan Skowski's wake-up call.
Well, if you head off to work or school tomorrow, you can expect to see some morning sunshine before the clouds roll in. I hope you set your clocks back because the sunrise, that's right, 6:25 a.m., 59 along the coast and 53 back in the mainland.
Well, if they didn't, they missed our newscast, Dan. Finally, tonight, it's that devilish time of year again. Of course, Halloween. Hundreds of South Jersey trick-or-treaters hit the streets tonight in hopes of satisfying their holiday sweet tooth. While most kids got a treat here in Ocean City, many got tricked. The doorways were also mobbed over in Summers Point as everyone showed off their costumes. But who says that trick-or-treating is just for kids? These families put man's best friend in costume for their dog Halloween party. Of course, chocolate was out of the question, but doggy treats work just as well. And it seems each year more families are decorating their homes for Halloween. This year, one Linwood family really went all out. The D'Amatos of Fisher Woods turned their home into Cinderella's fairy tale for the mobs of trick-or-treaters, dressing up as the characters, even including Cinderella's horse-drawn carriage.
Let me ask you a question.
That's amazing.
That's a touch.
What's their electric bill like?
Did you see they were handing out full Reese's Pieces? I had the little teeny cups that I was handing out at my house.
So that electric bill must be outrageous.
You should see what they do at Christmas time.
Oh, man.
And that's it for us at 11. For Lou, Dan, and the rest of the team, I'm Lisa Johnson. Thanks for joining us, everyone. Have a good night.
Finally, an exciting car that's built to take it. Pound for pound, it's the most solid Grand Am ever built. Hit the streets in a Pontiac Grand Am with solid form design and save with this solid deal today. Grand Am, excitement well built.
Health Update with Robin Stoloff, brought to you by EgyptAir, taking you well into the future.
Caring for your child starts long before the baby is born. Here to tell us about the importance of prenatal care is Clinical Manager of Obstetrics for Atlantic City Medical Center, Ann Zapor. Thank you for joining us, Ann. Tell us, why is it so important for a woman to take care of herself before she's pregnant?
Before the pregnancy, it's important that the mom gets a lot of exercise, proper diet, and vitamins so that her body is in good shape when she does become pregnant, and she has a better chance of having a healthy pregnancy then.
And how important is folic acid?
Folic acid is important to prevent birth defects in the child. The studies have shown that the mom does need a lot of folic acid during pregnancy, and they're usually supplemented with that.
Okay, oftentimes that's in a multivitamin or prenatal vitamin?
Right.
Okay, and why is it important to get prenatal education?
Prenatal education provides the mom and dad as a family with not only education about the labor, but also how to take care of her and the baby after discharge. We do a lot of teaching about baby safety, you know, things to watch for in your newborn after you go home that might be a problem that the mom wouldn't ordinarily know, that could be a sign of a problem in the baby.
If you've already had a baby, should you still go to these sessions?
Oh, definitely. Things change constantly when it comes to childbirth and caring for your newborn.
And why are follow-up visits so important for a mom?
There are a lot of things that can happen with both the mom and the baby because of the pregnancy and the delivery, and also newborns do have some things that go wrong, and the mom doesn't always know those things or how to look for them, so the doctor can help her do that.
So you should get to the doctor, what, almost every month after a pregnancy? Or?
It's 6 weeks after the vaginal delivery and usually about 2 weeks after a C-section.
Okay, great. And what number can a person call?
Prenatal education program is 652-3518.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank
I'm
you.
Robin Stoloff for Health Update.
Dennis Levinson. As Atlantic County freeholder, Levinson cut spending by more than $16 million and cut debt in half. Levinson also cut your county property tax rate by 7%.
I'm Dennis Levinson. My record proves that I've cut spending, the budget, and property taxes. As your county executive, I'll keep government affordable, accountable, accessible, off your back and out of your wallet.
November 2nd, Levinson, Atlantic County Executive.
Last week on Your Big Break, 5 people got their chance at stardom, including a cook who performed as Freddie Mercury, and a printer who sang like Linda Ronstadt. Tonight, meet a teacher, a graphic artist, a hairstylist, a warehouse manager, and an engineer. Which musical superstars will they become? Find out next.
It's real, it's not fake. A little something we call Your Big Break. Back!